On a warm summer night in 1999, two best friends set out on what should have been a simple drive to a birthday party. Instead, it would become one of Alabama's most haunting mysteries. July 31st, 1999, 17-year-old J.B. Beasley and her best friend Tracie Hawlett left their hometown of Dothan. The plan was simple. They were heading to a small birthday gathering in Headland to celebrate JB's 17th birthday. Just a short drive, nothing unusual. But somewhere along those quiet country roads, something went terribly wrong. The girls got lost. Late that night, around 11:30 p.m., Tracie called her mother from a payphone in Ozark. Her voice sounded calm, maybe a little tired. She explained they couldn't find the party and were heading back home instead. It was supposed to be a normal phone call, the kind of call parents receive all the time. But it would be the last time anyone heard from them, because J.B. Beasley and Tracie Hawlett never made it home. The next day, their bodies would be discovered inside the trunk of their own car. And for years, the people of southeastern Alabama would be left wondering, what happened to those two girls on that lonely road? Welcome to Cornel Mysteries, the place where we explore solved, unsolved, and deeply twisted cases from around the world. And today's case is one that shocked an entire community and then kept its secrets for decades. The town of Ozark, Alabama sits near the Florida border. It's a quiet southern town surrounded by forests and farmland, the kind of place where neighbors know each other and life usually moves at a slow, comfortable pace. For years, the town was mostly known for being home to Fort Rucker, a major U.S. Army aviation training base. But in 1999, that peaceful reputation would be shattered because something dark had happened there, something brutal, and something that would haunt the town for decades. J.B. Beasley was born on July 31st, 1981. Friends described her as energetic, outgoing, and full of life. She loved cheerleading, dancing, swimming, and even modeling. She grew up surrounded by family in Dothan, Alabama, and was known for her bright personality. Her best friend, Tracie Hawlett, was a little different, more quiet, more reserved. But those who knew her said she had an incredibly kind heart. She was protective of her younger brothers and deeply loyal to the people she cared about. Both girls attended Northview High School, where they were cheerleaders and popular among their classmates. They had their whole lives ahead of them: college, careers, dreams. But on that summer night in 1999, all of that would be stolen. At around 10 p.m., J.B. and Tracie left Dothan in J.B.'s black 1993 Mazda 929. They were heading north to Headland for the birthday party. But the roads in that area can be confusing at night, especially for teenagers unfamiliar with them. About half an hour later, the girls stopped at a gas station to ask for directions. They used a payphone to call friends and figure out how to reach the party. But somehow, they still ended up driving the wrong way. Instead of reaching Headland, they drove nearly 25 miles northwest to Ozark. By 11:30 p.m., they realized they were completely lost. Tracie used another payphone outside a closed convenience store called the Big Little Store. She called her mother and explained the situation. They were lost, but everything seemed okay. They were just going to head back home. That was the plan. A woman named Marilyn Merritt happened to stop at the same gas station that night. She later told investigators that the two girls approached her politely and asked for directions back to Dothan. She remembered them clearly. They looked normal, calm. Their car was clean. Nothing seemed suspicious. After explaining the directions, she watched the girls drive away. That moment would later become one of the last confirmed sightings of them alive. The following morning, panic began to spread. Tracie's mother reported the girls missing. Police quickly began searching the area. It didn't take long before they found JB's car parked on a quiet street in Ozark. But something about it felt wrong. The doors were locked. The gas tank was nearly empty. The driver's window was slightly open. Inside the vehicle, both girls' purses were still there. Their money, their jewelry, even their IDs. Nothing appeared stolen. But the girls themselves were nowhere to be found. Then, investigators noticed something chilling. A palm print on the trunk. Suddenly, the officers had a terrible feeling about what might be inside. Hours later, they finally managed to open the trunk. What they discovered would shock the entire community. Inside the trunk were the bodies of J.B. Beasley and Tracie Hawlett. Both had been shot in the head, execution style. The girls were still fully clothed, but their clothing was dirty and torn. It appeared they had struggled. Investigators believe the murders may have actually happened inside the trunk itself. The brutality of the crime left even experienced detectives shaken. Who could do something like this, and why? At first, investigators considered robbery, but that theory quickly collapsed. All valuables were still inside the car. Autopsies showed no alcohol or drugs in their systems. There was also no immediate evidence of sexual assault. The case was turning into a mystery with no clear motive and no suspects. Then, 1 month later, a strange man walked into the Ozark Police Department. His name was Johnny Barentine. He claimed he had witnessed the murders. According to Barentine, he had seen a man force the girls into the trunk of their car and shoot them. But during questioning, something strange happened. His story kept changing, again and again and again. By the end of the interrogation, his version of events had shifted multiple times. Police became suspicious. Soon, Barentine himself was arrested for the murders. But there was one major problem. DNA evidence didn't match him. Eventually, investigators concluded that Barentine had made up the entire story, possibly hoping to collect reward money. He was released, and the case went cold. For years, investigators chased leads, suspicious strangers, mysterious trucks, possible witnesses, but every trail ended the same way: nothing. The murders of J.B. Beasley and Tracie Hawlett slowly became one of Alabama's most frustrating cold cases, and over time, rumors began to grow. Some people believed the killer was still living quietly in the community. Others believed something darker had happened. Whispers of police corruption, cover-ups, secrets buried deep within the town. But none of those claims were ever proven, and the case remained unsolved for nearly 20 years. Then, in 2019, something changed. Advances in forensic science gave investigators a new tool: genetic genealogy. Using DNA recovered from the crime scene, investigators sent evidence to the lab at Parabon Nanolabs. For the first time in 20 years, they had a match. The DNA pointed to a man named Coleman Lewis McCraney, a former Air Force serviceman who had been living quietly in Alabama. In March 2019, McCraney was arrested during a traffic stop in Daleville. Investigators believe he was around 26 years old at the time of the murders and lived not more than a mile from where the girl's car was discovered. For the families of J.B. and Tracie, the arrest was both shocking and emotional. After 20 long years, there was finally a suspect. Today, the case is still making its way through the legal system, and many questions remain unanswered. What really happened during those final hours? Why were the girls targeted? Was it random? Or was something more sinister at play? Sometimes cold cases feel like ghosts. They linger for years, haunting communities, refusing to disappear. But eventually, the truth has a way of finding its way back into the light, even after decades. What do you think happened that night? Do you believe the right person was arrested? Or could there still be secrets hiding in the shadows of Ozark? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into mysterious and disturbing cases like this one, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us for the next story here on Cornel Mysteries. Because sometimes The past isn't as buried as it seems.